And good morning, everybody. So today we're going to talk about macronutrients. But before we get started, I want everybody to take a really big deep breath in and out, maybe a couple times, and realize that what you're receiving, the emails, the cheat sheets, macro cheat sheet I just sent you, this video, other things that you're doing are big changes, and it's a lot of information. So give yourself some grace. I know a lot of you that have started are seeing a lot of wins and a lot of great things, and you're sharing. Some of you are sharing a little bit. I love the wins so much. But those of you, and like myself, who do struggle with different things, share that too, because I think as a group, we can be so helpful to each other in sharing that, and then maybe suggesting a different strategy to deal with it. Something that would be helpful to someone else that they don't know unless we share. But only if you feel like comfortable doing that. No pressure. Also, I want you to know you're not alone, that this can be overwhelming as you're getting now into macros, and you will be learning how to set your macros tomorrow from the tutorial. Please excuse any lawn work you hear. I've tried different angles of the house. It reminds me of when you do the workouts. If you've already started, there's windows in their studio on the Faster Way app. And sometimes you can see the landscapers in the back, but they're doing a beautiful job. So I'll just talk a little bit louder. But and I also have my notes over here, so I apologize for that, but I just don't want to miss anything that's really key. So we're all learning these new strategies. It's lots of information. Give yourself lots of grace, which is my beautiful niece's name, Beverly Grace. So just breathe through it, and it all comes together, I promise. What we're really doing is we're stacking knowledge week to week. And as you learned last week about intermittent fasting and about whole food nutrition. We're moving on to some other things like the macros today. And it'll just continue to build on each other. You just have to trust me and trust the process. So, let's see. So what you need to know when you're looking at whole food nutrition and what your body needs a lot just to do daily tasks, just to play with your children, play with your grandchildren, move things around the house, go to the grocery store, pick up things. I know I always have I'll bend down, like a squat in a grocery store, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's easy to get down here, but man, sometimes it's hard to get back up. But through strength training, I'm able to do that even better now, and I'll continue to progress, as you will as well. Hydrating is so important, and now that we kind of are putting all of that together, the hydration, the intermittent fasting, the need for whole food nutrition, and enough of it, not eating enough, which we'll talk about in a second. It's all going to kind of come together so we can kind of hit the ground running or jogging or whatever, walking quickly this week. So remember this, the goal of this 6-week program is not for you to hit your goal, finish it, and then go back to whatever you were doing before. This is the time for you to learn these new strategies, learn this new information, and take it with you going forward. There's always going to be a vacation. There's always going to be a night out. My sister in particular is always traveling, and there's always wine, and it's always fun. And that's, it's difficult to kind of manage, and there's always really yummy things, but you can incorporate it all, have fun, have a doable lifestyle, and still not only reach your goals, but maintain your goals. And that just is more about just a healthy lifestyle that doesn't consist of deprivation. So remember that, this is all a positive thing. Otherwise I wouldn't be working for the company or representing it. Trust me. So we're going to continue to learn healthy habits. We're going to adopt these healthy habits, and we're going to take them with us. And we tweak as we go. And then other people around us, whether they join the Faster Way or not, we can help them even be healthier, because that's really the ultimate goal. It's progress, and progression. So don't beat yourself up and be like, it should be perfect. This is just the beginning of the 2nd week. It's really just day 8. So hang in there, and again, give yourself lots of grace. So be patient with yourself. I think I've said that enough. Again, be graceful. Lean into what you have learned this prep week, and as you start getting into setting your macros today into tomorrow, you'll really understand why we had a prep week, that we needed that time just to kind of get our head in the game. Several of you, or actually most of the people I know that have contacted me for this round and for my next round that starts in May, have always eaten an extremely low carb diet, as if, apples were going to kill them, and strawberries, and just really, really deprive themselves of healthy calories, of all calories, but a lot of healthy calories. So we're not going to do that anymore. Carbs are not bad. Carbs are not evil. Carbs are not the devil. So on week 3, so this is just the beginning of week 2. On week 3, I'll be asking you to post a picture of your food diary that's on your nutrition page. So when you set your macros in your app, and don't be like, oh my God, what is she talking about? Because you're going to get the tutorial tomorrow, and it walks you through it step by step. And it's actually Amanda Trask, who owns the company and founded it. And she's so good, and it's so detailed, and I'm always here for backup. Once you set that, when you get on the page, there's a bottom icon that says nutrition, and you tap on that. That's where you'll be adding your macros, excuse me. And on week 3, not this week, on week 3, I'll be asking you to send a picture of your macros and your food diary. That is only for me to see, not for anybody else. It's not to judge you. It's not to shame you if you're over or you're under. It's for me to see where you are so that I can help you going forward. And I know that logging, and some of us that have been on every diet known to mankind, because this is not a diet, this is a program to help you live a healthier and maintain an awesome lifestyle, have had to track for Weight Watchers and write down everything in journals and so forth. So I know logging can be tedious, but it is so worth it. And you're going to learn so much about yourself. You're going to learn all the strengths and maybe some of your weaknesses. So we really need to do that. 9 times out of 10, my clients are definitely not eating enough. It's never the other way around, or it hasn't been since the beginning. So remember that. So try to be committed to the logging daily. We're going to talk about pre-logging, doing it the night before or the morning of, which will be one of my biggest pieces of advice that my coach gave me, and I am totally telling you it is worth it. But anyway, getting back to macros, tomorrow again you will be receiving a detailed tutorial of how to set your macro goals, so that all you have to do is add what you're going to be eating and consuming that day. Your macros are going to be the daily goals that you're just trying to achieve. And it actually turns into like a little game, and it's a challenge, and it's so fun when you win. And you will win, I promise you, because I'm your coach. Okay, so when you do get it set, again tomorrow, you may go, oh my gosh, this is so many calories. Beverly has lost her mind. So it will be a lot of calories for you to consume, but it's coming from whole food. It's coming from healthy proteins, healthy fats, healthy carbs. And it can be a cracker, it can be a bread, as long as it's gluten-free, as long as the other products are dairy-free. So don't just trust the program. Hang in there with me. It's gonna all come together, and you're gonna be satisfied, and you're not gonna be deprived. And some people, food's just a source of of living, but other people live to eat. And this is when you're gonna really, really enjoy it. And it's wonderful whole food, and it's healthy, and you feel good, and you're gonna have high energy, and you're going to be able to complete projects and stay focused, and just feel better and sleep better, and your metabolism will be all jacked up. So it's going to be amazing. Just trust me. Eating less in this program will not cause you to lose weight. Eating less in this program will not get you any closer to your weight loss goal. Yes, we're in it for muscle gain and fat loss, but eating less is not going to get you there. So don't do that. The focus is to hit your targets each day, increasing your overall calories. And again, the macros are made of proteins, fats, and carbs. Proteins, fat, and carbs. Those are the major nutrients that we consume. So that's hence macros. So by doing that and eating the amount that I'm suggesting via the Faster Way approach, it really it helps any hormonal issues, and your hormones really, truly rule fat loss. So we got to get those straight. So hormonal issues, thyroid issues, metabolism issues. So by eating these calories, we're not just increasing our metabolism, but I have another sip of coffee. We are healing our metabolism. I have these 2 new clients starting in May, and I tease them because we all laugh together about being the Diet Coke and cigarette diets from the late 70s or early 80s. So anyway, we're going to heal it, and then we're going to continue, make sure our metabolism is strong and running like a well-oiled machine. So again, by eating the right amount of food, we're correcting things like hormonal, metabolism, thyroid. We're going to allow our bodies to do whatever it needs to focus on fat burning. So my biggest piece of advice with all of this said is that you pre-log. So what that means is you get your app out the night before, if you can, like before you go to bed or whenever it's convenient. Most people kind of know what they're having for dinner the next night. You may not. And one of my clients, 2 of my clients live in an amazing active community center, and they have their own chefs. They have their own kitchens, so they can kind of get things cooked in olive oil, cooked just the way they want, the proper portion. So that's really ideal. I have a sister who cooks, and she lives very close, so yay. But there's also a lot of ways to plan your meals with easy tricks of like getting a rotisserie chicken, or easy prep ideas, which I also will be talking about this week and sending you more videos because you want to be prepared. So let's say it's at nighttime, like tonight okay, for instance, this morning I went over with a client. I said, let's fill in your log. So I said, let's start with how you're going to break your fast. And we decided on meal 1, which will probably be 11 or 12 whenever she starts her fast. We're going to do 3 boiled eggs and a turkey sausage patty or beef patty. And we entered that in. And then also a cup of strawberries. It could have been a cup of blueberries, blackberries, whatever, but we picked strawberries. And then we went down to the dinner. Now, then this is for tomorrow, so we can kind of plan ahead. We did filet mignon, 6 ounces. And then it's a low carb day that we're planning for. But I said, hey, you like, baked potatoes? And she's like, well, who doesn't? So I picked a small one because it is really high in carbs. But we did have a small baked potato, and there's organic butter. Of course, you can use coconut oil, avocado oil, or whatever. Anything you want to put on it that's gluten-free and dairy-free. And that will be like her carb with her steak. So we looked at all of the macronutrients. We looked at where her carbs, fats, and proteins were. It also shows you fiber, and thought, okay, so how can we fill in the middle of the day? Well, she happens to be going to Panera's for lunch, so she's going to get a green salad with whatever kind of vegetables she likes, like tomato, onions, carrots, like those kind of things. That's fine, whatever, good for her taste. And she's going to get chicken added, but she's going to get double chicken added so that she can hit her protein fat a little bit faster. Yes, that's a lot of food. Double protein chicken at Panera's is probably close to 8 ounces. And then whatever dressing she wants that is gluten-free and dairy-free, or she can just get oil and vinegar. So then the snacks can come into play. You can do a protein shake. You can have some almonds. They're high in fat too. You could do some almond butter with an apple later on. So these are things that we're going to continue to talk about. You're not going to know it all today. You're not going to know it by the time I finish this video, but it's all going to come together. Those are suggestions. Okay, these will give you the numbers you need, and then you can plan from there, is what I'm saying, for the rest of the day. And then you can tweak it late at night. Like, let's say you're just a little bit low on your carbs, like just a few grams away. Honey, as I told you in a previous video, will close the gap on your carbs, just, a tablespoon or 2 in a smoothie. And then let's say you're just trying to get those fats there. Black olives really helps to get those fats in. I also find like a cup of berries or a cup of strawberries or a cup of fruit really helps get those carbs up too. Okay, if you wait and if you don't pre-log, it's not the end of the world. It happens, we get busy. But you may end up breaking your fast, maybe around 2 or 3, because you had an incredibly busy day, and then you expect yourself to have all of these macros within a 3-hour window, and that's going to be really a lot of food to eat, and it may end up looking very strange, you know, like six navel oranges, you know, and a thing of ground beef, and it might, try to plan. It's worth it to plan. If you don't plan, then you plan to fail. But do take this time to invest in your health, and not just the fast away, but the time that it takes to set up a day's worth, whether it's you're pre-planning and then you can pre-package, like going to work, you make sure you have some chomps with you for protein, make sure you have a bag of berries or apple or whatever, so maybe a little almond butter in a little container. They even have almond butter in packets. So just some ideas, but you want to plan and you want to pre-package and you want to kind of know what you're doing in your head, and by logging and pre-logging, it really helps you do that. So what is a macronutrient? To define it, there's 3 macronutrients in our body. There's proteins, carbs, and fats. There's lots of other micronutrients that are like fiber and vitamins and things, but the 3 majors are protein, carbs, and fats, which is where the majority of all of our calories are going to come from daily. This program is not calorie focused. It will give you a total of calories. And again, you'll think, wow, you know, that's a little high, but it's not based on calories. So don't look at that. Just focus on your macros. So this is the goal. At the end of the day, you want to be 5 to 10 grams, either above or below each of your macronutrient goals. So if your protein goal is, let's say, 100 grams for a day, and if you're between 90 and 110, then that's a huge success. You're fine. You've nailed it. Again, it's not perfection. And in this week, you may not be able to get that close, and that's okay. By the 4th and 5th week, the 5th and 6th week, you will not only you'll have your macros perfected. It'll be a fun game. You'll be like, whoa, I have all this energy. I am doing this. I love pre-logging, and it gives you the perfect mindset to move forward. Told you about the icon. And again, in week 3, I don't know if I said this earlier, I will be asking you for a screenshot, I think I did, of your macros and how you look. And if you're like really over, someone sent me something that looked really, really good. A gentleman who loves to eat sometimes more fried chicken and things like that. Fried seafood, fried anything. Anyway, his fats were like, you know, probably 40 grams over, 50 grams over. So we're going to work on that just a little bit. And that's good though, but that's why I need to know, because if I don't know how you're doing, the good, you know, the wins and the struggles, I can't help you. So you need to reach out, you know, text, email, call, whatever. We do not have a Facebook group for this group. Email seemed to be more desired and appropriate, but I'm available as much as I possibly can be for you guys all the time, I promise. We have 3 main necessities in life. We need shelter, we need clothing, and I say 4 necessities. We need love. Yes, we need food. Food is a huge priority. It's a necessity. It is nothing that we're supposed to deprive ourselves of. Don't skip meals. Do not skip meals. If it's between skipping a meal or you're still hungry and if you have like 400 calories left and you're still hungry but your window is closing for your fast, food over fasting is always best. Food over fasting. It gives you, you know, again, you have high energy. I've never had this much energy, especially now in my 50s. I'll be 55, and I'm more focused. I probably don't seem like it right now. Still having my coffee, but more focused, and I do have more energy. Just to do things that like I've had to move a piece of furniture and I had to do it by myself, and I was able to do it. And my husband needed help with the boat, and I had to get in and out and under in weird positions to help him. And I was able to do it and feel strong about it and not be like fatigued in, you know, the first hour. So make health your priority. Make health your priority. Time is the thing we have the smallest amount of, and how the days just go. Even if I get up at 5:30 or 6, they fly by. getting prayer in first, so important. And then after that, I'm pre-logging and I'm touching base with my clients. I'm helping you, helps me. And I want to see everybody succeed so much. And that means lots of wins, but it also means looking at where the struggles are, where are the let's develop strategies for that. Nobody's perfect and not every day is perfect, and that's okay. Also keep in mind when you are putting in your macros, and let's say one day you just kind of go off the rails, you forget to put them in, you went over, you have a bowl of cereal that's like really your kids and not something that's, really healthy or whatever. So what? The next day, don't beat yourself up. The next day is a clean slate. All comes clean. All where you add the nutrients, it's just clean. They're all empty circles, and it's a new start, a fresh start. Sun rises and it's a new day. And you will have grace for that day and you will do better. So prioritize your health. You've signed up for these 6 weeks, and I want to see you get the absolute most out of it for sure. So I told you that. Some people will have 3 big meals a day. Some people will have 1 big meal and 10 snacks. Some people will break their fast at 10 a.m. Some will do it at 1 p.m. Each day could be different, and that's okay. You need to do you. You need to prioritize your health and realize you don't have to fit into someone else's schedule. It doesn't have to be 12 to 8. You could even do a 12 to 12 hour fast instead of 8 to 16. So if you've got to do you and make it yours. So look at your schedule and eat when you can if you're super busy, but you have let's say you have a small window between 2 meetings that you're gonna have the next day. You're like, gosh, I've got 10 or 15 minutes there. Pack your snack ahead of time. Pack it with, whatever it's low carb day, want lots of protein and a small amount of carbs. Just plan accordingly and eat when you can eat. There's a good friend of mine who's an ICU nurse, and I know she really wants to do this, but eating, on her shift is challenging. It's really challenging. So we're working through that as best as we can. You can't really eat while you're taking care of patients. But most of us, I know you all, so you can fit this in. You just have to prioritize your health and make sure you pre-plan and you get those calories that you need. Okay. Yeah. So again, towards the end of the program, week 5 and 6, you should be able to be nailing your macros, and I will be so excited about that. I can make suggestions. I can guide you. You've got this. You've got this. You've got this. You got to trust in the program, trust in me, trust in yourself, and it's progress over perfection. It's about feeling better. It's about making healthier choices, which I love this group because everybody makes such healthy choices almost all the time. So that was really easy. The whole food part was very easy with this group, so I thank you. The next group, maybe not. Gotta get them to give up the Diet Coke and the cigarettes. And remember, each day is a clean slate, and I know you're gonna do great. And I just wanna thank each one of you for again, not just trusting the program, but trusting me enough to take this journey to better health and better sustained living overall for you all and your family. And I'm just so excited to be a part of you guys for this 6 weeks and longer. Have a great day. My best to all of you. Mwah. Hope this was helpful.